Alright, so in today's video, I'm going to show you guys how you can go ahead and farm yourself a bunch of these brand new spooky eggs in Roblox Grow a Garden. By the end of this video, I guarantee you guys you'll have a full track on how you can go ahead and get yourself the brand new Headless Horseman pet, which is extremely OP, as most of you probably know. So without wasting any more time, let's go ahead and hop straight into this video. As always, if you guys find this video helpful, drop a like, subscribe. We're trying to get to 400,000 subscribers to help me out. Anyways, let's go ahead and get straight into this video. So here we are in the brand new update, and as you guys can see, the night event is actually happening. The Halloween event is actually happening right now, and yeah, this thing is gonna pop up every single hour, and every single time this thing pops up, as you guys can see inside here, we have the new spooky egg, and inside the spooky egg, obviously we have the brand new Headless Horseman, which once again is a very good pet. So here's a quick screenshot of this pet, and guys, look at this. Every 40 minutes hunts a random level pet. So it could be anything, guys. It could be level 57, level 47, whatever this thing is, without a mutation. So your pet does not need to have a mutation. Make sure it does not have any mutations, resetting it to level 1. So it's gonna go ahead, reset that pet to level 1, but it's gonna give it one of these 4 chaotic mutations. Either it's gonna be Dreadbound, Soul Flame, Spectral, or Nightmare. Now, I'm not sure what any of these mutations do. Hopefully we can go ahead and find out in today's video, but so far, guys, I have literally not even seen any of these mutations in the game. I'm not even sure if they are in the game so far. I mean, they might get launched when this update officially drops, because right now I am in a testing service. So yeah, maybe these are gonna drop when the update officially drops, but let's go ahead and talk about how you guys can go ahead and farm this egg so you can get this pet. By the way, this isn't the only OP pet inside of this egg. We also have the black cat, which is basically a moon cat on steroids, bro. It is very good. Basically, guys, go ahead and get yourself a bunch of these black cats, and as you guys can see, every 4 minutes it goes to a witch's cauldron cosmetic and naps near it for 15 seconds. New fruits within a 10 stud radius will have a 1.3x larger size, which is crazy. Once again, if you go ahead and get 8 of these, that's absolutely insane, and all you need is one of these cauldrons. That's it. One of these cauldrons, which you can get out of the brand new spooky crate, or the pumpkin crate, I believe is what it's called. And guys, I literally went ahead and did this method with a great pumpkin, and check this thing out. Yeah, I'm not even kidding. These cats are very OP. You need to go ahead and use them. Once again, I've made a complete video on using these, so go to my channel, check that out. But anyways, let's go ahead and start by actually getting these eggs. Now, the easiest way I have actually found to get these eggs is by completing this event right over here. So obviously, I would not really rely on trying to get them from the Creepy Chris's shop here, because usually they are never in stock. So honestly, guys, I wouldn't even bother with this. Even though I have so much candy corn, I basically can't even use it because this thing is never in stock, which is very annoying. Even if it is in stock, by the way, you can only get 1 per hour, which is kind of crazy. That's very bad. That's like 24 per day, which is like, nah, bro, that's really bad. That's saying if they actually come in stock. They're never in stock though. So your second best option is to go ahead and fill up the cauldron, the witch's cauldron, because every single time you guys go ahead and fill this up, and if you are at the top of the leaderboard, you actually get extra eggs and extra rewards. You actually get a bonus reward. That's right. So that is what we're going to be abusing in today's video. So here we go. Let me go ahead and show you guys a crazy trick that I've been using to actually go ahead and get a bunch of these eggs. So there is many ways you can go upon this. First of all, get a bunch of tomatoes in your garden, because honestly, these are the easiest to harvest. And yeah, just go ahead and get as many tomatoes as you possibly can inside of your garden. Once again, tomatoes are very easy to get. What you need to do is just go here, auto click overnight, and you're gonna get a bunch of these tomatoes, maybe hundreds and hundreds of these tomatoes. Go ahead and plant as many of them as you possibly can. Next up, you simply want to go ahead and collect all of these tomatoes and just sell them off to the witch right there. This is for noobs, okay? If you guys are a new player, this is what you need to do. This is how you're gonna have to go upon doing this entire event. If you guys don't have tomatoes stacked up in your garden already, this is what you will have to do to go ahead and get yourself as many points as you possibly can get. But yeah, this is like the simplest way to go ahead and complete this event. The tomatoes are not going to give you guys a lot of points, but if you are a struggling new player, this is your best option to go ahead and get yourself a bunch of these spooky eggs. Are you kidding me? 2%. But there you go, ladies and gentlemen, we have completed the event. Unfortunately, we did not get get any eggs because, yeah, it's just RNG, right? You just gotta keep on submitting this and hope that you get eggs. But that is the simplest thing you can do. Get a bunch of tomatoes, plant them up in your garden, and submit them over and over and over again. Additionally, I recommend doing this with a bunch of other people in your server. Now, this is for obvious reasons. If you try and do this event yourself, it's gonna take a very, very long time. Using tomatoes alone, you're gonna have to do like 3 trips just to fill up the cauldron, which takes a very, very long time. Oh my god, that man just went flying. Wait, I want to try that too. No freaking wait, what? Okay, I had no idea this was a thing, but if you stand in the cauldron, you actually go flying up into the air. That is so freaking cool, bro. Ow, ouch, ow. But anyways, back to the topic. Yeah, that's the easiest thing you can do. Once again, as I was saying, do this with a bunch of people. Do not try and do this with a bunch of random people. What I mean by that is joining a random server in Grow a Garden and asking people like randos to help you guys out. 9 times out of 10, they are not gonna be bothered. 9 times out of 10, they're new players who have no idea what's going on. So what I recommend you guys to do instead is head over to my Discord server. Link is gonna be in the description down below. And inside my Discord server, guys, you're gonna find a bunch of people to actually do this event with. And trust me, it is gonna be so much easier to do this event with a bunch of people who know what they're doing, who are actually trying to help you, and people that will not just freeload off of you. You know, you do all the work and they just sit around doing nothing. So make sure you guys go to the link in the description down below, join my Discord server. Trust me, it's gonna help you guys out a lot. Anyways, the brewing timer has once again hit 0, and as you guys can see, we can now go ahead and submit a bunch of plants once again. Now, another thing you need to keep in mind if you're a more advanced player is the higher the rarity of the plant, the more points you actually get. So if you have a common plant, you only get 1 point for a common plant. That's right, a carrot will only give you 1 point. So if you thought you have 150 freaking carrots, you can go ahead and submit those. No, this is useless. This is really bad. Same goes for something like a blueberry. Since it's a uncommon, you only get 2 points. Rare plants only give you guys 3 points. Legendary only give you guys 4. Mythical only give you guys 5. Divine give you 6. Prismatic give you 7. And finally, Transcended gives you 8 points each submission. So yeah, these are very, very good. But obviously, you can't go ahead and spam a bunch of Transcended plants because they take half a day to grow up. So they are not very good for actually submitting into this event. So your next best option is to actually go ahead and use a middle ground. Something that's in between, not as bad as a carrot, but not as crazy and takes as much time to grow as a great pumpkin seed. And this perfect middle ground is actually right over here, a mythical coconut seed. That's it. If you guys are a slightly older player to grow a garden, if you guys have harvested most of these seeds, go ahead and use a coconut seed because these are very, very good. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of coconut seeds, but I do have a lot of coconut plants inside of my garden right up there. So yeah, guys, go ahead and use a bunch of coconut seeds. If you don't have a lot of coconut seeds, pair them up with a bunch of tomato seeds and boom, you should be able to go ahead and plant or harvest a bunch of these plants very, very quickly. Once again, do this with friends, do this with people who know what they're doing. It's just gonna make life so much easier. And yeah, you wouldn't have to keep going here and going back, going here and going back. It's just gonna save you guys a lot of time. Additionally, I also recommend you guys to go ahead and craft yourself one of these guys, a pack B, because this does give you guys 30 more slots inside of your inventory, which is very, very helpful. Get a bunch of these. They're gonna help you guys out a lot. Additionally, go ahead and get yourself a bunch of inventory upgrades if you have not already. All you need to do is go ahead and submit a bunch of pets. And yeah, once you go ahead and submit a bunch of pets, you are gonna get an extra inventory slot, which is very, very useful. But that takes time. We don't want to waste time. So yeah, anyways, moving on. Now coming on to the glitch that I found, or the trick, whatever you want to call this. This is what I have been doing personally to solo this event. And this is kind of broken, and I feel like the devs are gonna fix it very, very soon. But as you guys can see, in my garden, I have a lot of plants, and you need a lot of plants for this method to actually work. So make sure you have a lot of plants inside of your garden. And once you guys have planted a bunch of just random plants inside of your garden, what you want to do is go over here, and as you guys can see, for just 9 Robux, you can go ahead and harvest everything in your garden. Now you might ask, why is that special? Harvesting things in Grow a Garden does not take long at all. All I need to do is just go ahead, press down E, and it's gonna harvest everything for me. But as you guys know, there is a limit to how much you can harvest. But for some reason, if you go ahead and use the harvest all button, there is no limit. You can harvest your entire garden in one go with no cap to it. So let me go ahead and do it for just demonstration purposes. Once again, this is gonna require you guys to have Robux, which I know not everyone has, so I'm fully aware of that. That's why I gave you guys other options that you guys can go ahead and use that are just as good as this. But if you guys really want to do this solo, if you guys really want to do this on your own, check this out. It's gonna harvest everything for me. I really hope my recording isn't lagging here. But boom, we have collected everything in my garden, and check out my inventory, guys. I'm holding way more than I normally would be able to, which is 150. This is way more than 150. If you guys want to sit there and count, you can do so. Feel free to do so. But check this out, guys. Let's go ahead and head back to the event here. It is at 0% right now. 0%. If I go ahead and submit all, it's going to go to 100% instantly. Check that out, guys. No cuts in the video. I promise you, I just got 35 candy corn for submitting everything. And look at my points up there. I don't know if you guys can see that. 1,995. That is impossible to get solo in Grow a Garden. So guys, this is absolutely freaking broken and is the best way to go ahead and complete this event. But unfortunately, every single time you will have to use 9 Robux to harvest your entire garden, which can be a deal breaker for most of you. I understand that. But once again, I have shared a bunch of other methods that you guys can go ahead and use, such as joining my Discord server. Honestly, guys, this is going to be the best method for you guys. Go ahead and find a bunch of people to do this event with. And yeah, you guys can all go ahead and do this event. Instead of having one big inventory, you can have 4 big inventories that you can go ahead and submit right over there. So yeah, go ahead and try that out for yourself. But of course, if you want to go ahead and do my method, feel free to do so. By the way, like, I still have a bunch of harvest right over here, so I can still go ahead and do this event one more time before having to spend another 9 Robux. Always make sure that your plants have grown back before you spend the 9 Robux, by the way, because if they haven't, then obviously you're gonna lose all of those harvests, and you would have spent that money for basically nothing. But anyways, guys, that is my broken method to go ahead and complete this event very, very easily. It is gonna be fixed very soon. I'm like very sure of it. But thank you so much for watching this video all the way to the end. If you did, go ahead and comment down harvest. Let's see how many of you actually made it to the end. And hey, if you guys found this video extra fun to watch, go ahead and hit that subscribe button too. It helps me out a bunch. We are trying to get to 400,000 subscribers, so if you guys want to help me get there, please hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.